Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals, I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, April 23rd, and this is episode 215 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete, and always by my side is the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
How do you spell that?
S-U-P-E-R, califragilisticexpialidocious.
The outline says super ... So it's like, hey guys, Avi Ale here. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Avi. I injected myself with some Lysol earlier, so I should be good to go for the near future.
Oh, good. I just took out like an extra life insurance policy on you, so I'll be good to go.
But thank you for being here tonight, Avi. And thank you to all of you wonderful people joining us here live at twitch.tv/SheHealsITank. Or if you're listening to the podcast a little bit later on, watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We've got a fun show for you today, I think. What do you think, Avi?
Don't say I think.
Do you think it's fun?
Just say we've got a fun show planned.
It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be the best thing you've ever heard. Your ears are going to blow up.
Okay. I like how you go from one like uncertainty to like overconfident, like that.
Of course. That's how I do it.
No in the middle.
Nothing in the middle.
He either shaves off the center of his beard or he looks like a homeless person.
Nothing in the middle.
God.
We have a live letter, of course, to talk about. And we have some interviews with some outlets, some online magazines with Yoshida. So if you want to add to any of the conversation we're having about these things, you be sure to call in via Discord. And I should go ahead and hop in that live on-air channel. And that's what you guys should do when you join our Discord. Hop in the On Deck channel. I'll bring you into live on air, and you can let us know what you thought about the live letter, what you thought about some of the interviews we're talking about. Really, whatever you want. If you think it adds to the show, go ahead and call in. And a lot of stuff that you could now wildly speculate about from this live letter. So get your predictions out there now so you can claim to be the first. You're the first one that predicted it. Before we start talking about that, though, we need to thank some of these amazing people that subbed this week. We have first-time subs from Exterminate and Cetrazil Art. 4 months from Satyrs Eagle's Claw. 6 months for Ghost Wolf Rage, 7 months for Flayon, 8 months for Holden Koffel, Scott Matrix, and Adlin. Coming in at 1 year, we have Sunwise Buddha, or is that Buddha? It's Buddha. Maybe they just really love Bud. I don't know.
Butter?
No, Bud. 17 months for Hyper Pixie Gaming, and 19 months for Oaken Hops. And coming in at 23 months, we have KK McLeod.
Honestly, what surprises me the most, first of all, thank you guys, is that I can't believe we've been doing this for that long. Like, what? Ooh, I don't understand.
And PSN says, excited for flying. Yes, we will get to that. That's why we are in this area. And we'll talk about why we're in that area a little bit later. So thank you all for your support. You all are so nice and amazing, and from what I hear, sexy as well. But what do you say we teach some new players a little something with everyone's favorite segment?
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute.
Can I just comment now, because you like immediately went into the intro to this, that you are weird. You're very weird.
Oh, the shaving my beard down the middle didn't give it away, but now I'm weird.
Oh, no, I called you a crazy person when you did that, but that's so nice and amazing and sexy, too, from what I hear. Like, what?
You don't hear the same things?
Huh? It was more the delivery than anything else. That was kind of fun. All right. Crazy.
I don't know how that makes me crazy. I'm just talking the truth.
By the way, chat's kind of upset that you're not in your normal neon green glamour.
I did forget to change. Do you want to take this so I can change, Avi? You want to talk about specialists?
If you think it's so important, I can talk about it. It doesn't really matter.
I'll do it. This week, the question comes from Discord, and that person was asking and wanting to know about what are the soul of the crafters and what are specialists. So they go hand in hand. First of all, you can become a specialist in 3 different crafting jobs. when you are a specialist, you can make specialist recipes. So that is the reason why you would want to become...
Specialists make specialist recipes, Pete? Oh my god.
That is true.
Okay, continue.
Apparently, Avi thought you had a dumb question.
No, it's
'cause
just
she's
the way
making fun of you
I'm making
right
fun of the
now.
way you wrote it up. Honestly, I've never specialized in anything, so I'm glad that I'm not the one reading this because I have no idea.
You can only make specialist recipes if you are a specialist for that specific crafting job. So there's a couple for each job. So if you're an armorer, you can only make the armor specialist recipes, so on and so on. There used to be a lot more specialist recipes, but people really didn't seem to like the system too much. So now any new specialist recipes are mostly glamour pieces, housing pieces, barding, stuff like that.
Well, because specialist recipes, that mentality for a crafter is more geared toward a game where you create multiple characters. Final Fantasy 14 is all about you having your one character and being able to do everything on it, except your one character is then limited to 3 specializations. So that doesn't really play well with the rest of the game.
I think their aim for the specialist system was to have crafters work together. Like you'd have to make friends that were specialist.
Crafters don't talk to other people unless they're getting paid for it.
But Square Enix set up the crafting system where you basically had to level everything to get all of the abilities, the cross-class abilities. And in doing that, everyone wanted to be able to make all the shit. I mean, you made me level all the jobs, so let me make all the things.
Right.
Which makes sense, because if they're like, oh, you can only level 3 jobs, then
but even more so than that, like, again, this is, you have one character, you can play every job on this character, except crafters, you got to specialize in 3. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for the entire, like, mission of the game to be, like, focused around one character that can do everything.
It'd be funny if they made one for, like, the regular jobs. They're like, you have to pick 3 jobs and you'll have 1,000 more HP on those 3 jobs.
But that's something that other games would do when it was a game that encouraged making alts.
Yeah, people still make the alts, though, because they do want all of the specialists. I tried doing that one time, and then I think I quit around 2.3.
Could pay for a story skip.
No, thank you.
Just to craft.
No, I don't pay for anything in this game.
Except for your extra retainers.
No one knows about that. To become a specialist, you need to equip a Soul of the Crafter. And you need to do a quest to unlock it, and you'll get 3 Souls of the Crafters when you do that. The quest is called Beloved of the Builder, and it's a level 55 quest, so you don't need to worry about this if you're just starting out, but when you get to that level, it's worth doing so you have it ready. And when you do that quest, it will guide you through who to talk to set your specialists. Then you will see your Soul of the Crafter in the slot where job stones go. And the name will have changed to Soul of the Carpenter, Soul of the Armorer, depending on what job you chose to set it to. And you can change your specialists. You just need to get more Souls of the Crafters, which can be bought with yellow scripts. Then just go back to the person that you set your specialist with, and then you just choose which one you want to replace and which one you want to make your specialist.
So I thought specialists do they no longer have to get like the books for certain recipes?
That's not for special. Yeah, I mean, you have to have the books to unlock the recipes.
Right.
But you'll unlock the specialist recipe whether you're a specialist or not.
Okay. And so then what I'm wondering is there any downside to changing out your specialty?
No, I mean, like I said, they're bought with yellow script, so you can have a ton of those.
Right.
Just stock up some. That way, if there's something you want to make, you just change to that specialist, and
so it's kind of like
you get a minor stat boost as well.
Well, it's kind of like when Scholar and Summoner shared stats, and you had to use the God, I don't remember what the thing was to change your stats over from mind to intelligence. It's kind of like that. Like, I feel like that's something they're going to eventually change because it kind of plays along those same, doesn't really make sense. But you're just spending money or currency in game to play all of the elements of the game.
Yeah, it'd be really easy to change it too. All you have to do is get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing you need to tweak. Just get rid of some of that code. That way we don't have specialists to begin with.
I think that like there must be something tied to it further or something, or people haven't really complained about it.
Well, it wasn't in to begin with. It came in Heaven's Ward.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
That's why it's level 55 and not level 50.
That makes sense. Don't really craft, so, there's that.
Something they took a swing on, and I don't think they connected on it too well anyway.
Mm.
Do you have any questions about specialists?
I asked them.
Okay. Get to your favorite segment.
Tweet of the week.
I kind of talked over that.
It's the tweet of the week.
That's not fair that you talk over it, then you get to play it twice.
Hey, we're trying to produce a good show. If I talk over something, we got to replay it.
I dislike this.
This one comes from Scarlett, who tweets, unless you're cool like @Cerizian and can rock a badass mustache or have an insane beard like Pete from @SheHealsITank, then facial hair is great and totes worth it. Kudos to y'all for knowing how to rock it, but I just can't. And, some people don't think they look good in facial hair, but I think everyone looks good in facial hair. I think you just need to grow it out and see what happens.
I disagree. Not everyone looks good with facial hair.
Shave the spots that are patchy, let the other spots grow out, and it will kind of all fill in.
Not everyone's hair does that.
No. I think we should all try it out. Grow your quarantine beard.
But yeah, some people just they just don't grow facial hair, Pete. Like, not everyone is a hairy fuck like you. Also, I really want to trim up your mutton chops so they at least look like mutton chops and not a beard that had like the center bit out of it.
Nom nom.
Oh my god.
All right, Avi, time for news and notes from around the realm. Like I said at the top, we have a couple of interviews to go over. There's actually a lot of interviews that they released this week, but I just picked 2 to go over this week. First one is from Gematsu, and the question is, during the recent addition to the raid series Eden's Verse, there have been noticeable callbacks to Final Fantasy VIII. Gaia's inner thought monologue appearing very similar to Squall's inner thought monologues, Gaia referring to the voice in her head as a fairy, a term used by Laguna when Eloin sends Squall and company to the past, and Idol of Darkness sharing a similar design to Ultimisia's face markings. How much of an involvement did Tetsuya Nomura have in the story for the Eden Raid series outside of creating Gaia?
And Yoshida responds, we have only asked for character designs this time around. When we put in the request, we made sure to provide reference materials for the overall raid series, so I'm sure Mr. Nomura took that into account when creating his designs. His design work for the content is still ongoing, so please look forward to future developments.
I actually I was playing Final Fantasy. I started Final Fantasy VIII, I think a little bit after the first Eden raid came out. But it's been kind of cool recognizing the stuff that was in 14, and now I'm going through it in Final Fantasy VIII, and that was pretty cool, recognizing everything.
So I think maybe now that you're going back and playing all the games, you should go back and create an alt and replay 14, and then you can catch all of those elements as they happen.
I've tried. It's too hard.
It's hard?
Too hard. Next, they asked, additionally, it was stated during an early live letter from the producer that along with Tetsuya Nomura creating his own original character for the Eden Raid series, that he would also design monsters as well. Have we seen the monsters he's designed yet?
They have not made an appearance yet, so please stay tuned for what comes next. The designs are already solidified, and the development team is now moving forward with modeling.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
This will be the first time, I'll notice something in-game that I know from a previous game instead of the other way around. I know it from 14, and then I'll go back and see it in one of those games.
Yeah, you're becoming a true fan.
And I enjoyed a lot of the monsters in Final Fantasy VIII. As people that watch that stream know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Final Fantasy VIII, just because the story took a little while to get going, and I wasn't crazy about the junctioning system. But yeah, I'm excited for that now that I get to see some of the monsters that he's designed. And next question is, I primarily play the tank role, specifically Gunbreaker and Paladin. Are you me? Paladin has, in my opinion, been a job that lacks a lot in the self-mitigation department for cooldowns compared to its tank brethren. Is there any chance that we could possibly see an addition to the self-mitigation repertoire?
Mitification? Is that what you're going for?
I said mitigation.
I know, but it sounded like you were making up a word.
Well, I said it wrong first, and then I corrected myself. Don't be afraid to be wrong, people. Could we possibly see an addition to their self-mitigation repertoire, or even a change to Divine Veil, so that even the Paladin can gain shield from the absorption effect?
That's a legit selfish question. It's like I play this class.
I kind of thought so too.
I want to know this information for myself. But that's cool, you do you. Currently, the tank role is becoming progressively more equalized, but at the same time, we want each job to have its own established identity. If we make them even more equal, then it would truly make no difference which job you used. It is unlikely that we would make any changes during the 5.x series. Please stay tuned for any movements leading up to the next expansion.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Yoshida. Like, all the tanks right now are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one that's head and shoulders above the other. And really, if you are to make any more changes, they are going to start feeling more the same than they are now.
And you don't
And
want that.
I've already kind of complained about that with previous changes, all the tanks kind of feeling the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Paladin has like the best invulnerability, so you make that a little shittier. Maybe you can buff Divine Veil, but other than that, it's like you're already really good.
Yeah.
Like I would
Well, and I think it's also dependent upon how someone plays the class too.
I would kill for their invulnerability instead of the one that Gunbreaker has.
You don't like your HP going to 0?
No, it's not that it goes to 0. It's that I inevitably time it at the exact wrong moment where I hit it after I've been benedictioned. Because you try to save that until the last moment, and then you screw your healer.
I think that's a failure on you, not
That
them.
might be, but I've been trying to like do it because you don't want to do it like when you have a ton of HP left. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. You gotta get in better sync with your healers.
So, like, what I'm trying to say is it's the healer's fault.
No, it's never the healer's fault.
When in doubt, blame the healer. Next question. Looking back on what you have done so far, what is it that you are most proud of in the game? What fight, character, story, idea, or item first comes to mind?
I don't believe there's much value in being the most something. It's such a momentary notion. We gain experience and grow. So I feel my answer would constantly change. Most recently, though, I would say maybe ocean fishing. Warriors of Light from around the world are enjoying this, so while this content was born from a very simple thought, I feel it came out really well. Another one would perhaps be Doman Mahjong.
Hell yeah.
He laughs. I think it's, maybe the Mahjong is something he enjoyed doing, even though not a lot of people do it. Because I get that. From anyone who creates, you enjoy when other people enjoy what you've created, but there's also things that you just enjoyed the process of creating something. And then if people don't like it, it kind of takes away, but you can always remember how much fun you had creating it.
And thank you so much for that sub, Allura for real, with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much.
No, they converted it.
Oh, another conversion from Twitch Prime to a regular sub. That's the second time I've seen that this week.
Cool.
So yeah, what Yoshi is trying to say is Doman Mahjong is the best part of this game, and you should all start playing it.
I actually think this is one of my favorite responses Yoshida has ever given to a question. The response that it's hard to give value in the most of anything, because when you love something, it's generally like it's time based. It's very rare that people love the same one thing forever, which is why so many people Fantasia their characters all the time. It's because, you like to change it up every once in a while, and you may love your character, but you love the next one too.
And it's like if someone asked you, like, what's your biggest accomplishment in Final Fantasy that you've played? Well, it's like, well, when I was going through A Realm Reborn, it was beating T9. But then when I was going through Heaven's Ward, it was Alexander 12. Like, how do you pick one over the other? It all depends on how you were feeling at the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so you want to move on to the next interview by GamerEscape?
Yeah, do you want to switch it up?
No, because I think it stays easier if we keep the same.
GamerEscape asks, and we will link to all of these interviews in the show notes as well.
So please look forward to it.
So you can read them in full. Because there were a lot more questions. We just can't go over everyone. We can't just steal.
So wait, you chose the Paladin question out of the questions that were offered. You chose, so you're selfish too.
No, I didn't ask it.
No, but you chose to read it on the podcast.
Just relaying it to all the tanks out there.
Mm-hmm.
GamerEscape asks, currently in the game we have several different types of social tools. Free companies, link shells, and now fellowships. What led to creating fellowships as a separate system versus integrating those features into free companies or link shells?
See, that's a good question. Fellowships serve as a sort of role-play mechanism, and we implemented it as a system without limitations on how it should be used, so players can casually come together as a group. The team wanted to make it possible for players to create different community goals, such as one for people that love TV dramas, one for people that love novels, or another for people that live in the same region. And we wanted to achieve this without including a chat function. If we had integrated fellowships with the pre-existing link shell or free company systems, it would have inevitably been impacted by these existing communities. We intentionally designed the fellowship in a way to separate it from the other two and let it grow as its own unique system.
So I get the reasoning behind it, but have you heard of anyone like really enjoying fellowships yet?
No, because it's the Lodestone. You've got your forums and stuff on the Lodestone you can use, and I mean maybe it would be great for like console players, because if you're on a PlayStation, maybe if everybody played on a console, it would make more sense. But because a lot of the players, I'm not gonna say most because I actually don't know those numbers, but a lot of people play on PC, and a lot of them also have dual monitors, so you can have the forums up to your left or your right, whichever way you go, and then be able to do that outside of game just as easily.
And it just like creates another step. Like if you want to find your group of role players and post events and stuff like that, why wouldn't you already have a link shell that does the same thing?
Yeah.
And like everyone in that link shell is there for that, so no one's gonna get
it would be
mad
nice
about
to
roleplay.
like I actually get it being its own separate thing, but it actually is a feature that would be nice for free companies to have. And instead, free companies kind of use Discord for that for the most part. So we again have to use an outside source to create conversation about particular topics. And if you wanted to pin or save something, the message board is so short, but it would be a great tool in game for like event planning and stuff like that. But it's so clunky and you forget where it is that no one's going to use it because no one remembers to check it.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to get to. It's like a whole extra step that you never think about anymore.
Right.
Adding on to what you thought for the FCs, I thought that would be really cool too. What they need to add is just like a calendar and like make it a housing item, like this, so you can put it up on the wall and someone can just click on it and see what events are coming up. I think that would be pretty neat.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, you could, because our FC has a calendar that we link to a Google Calendar, so people can go online and see all that for the events we plan and keep it up to date. But it's an extra step, so not everybody remembers to even look at it.
But that would be good for people that don't play on PC.
Again,
you're on the PlayStation and you can just go and check that calendar.
And it would take away that extra step because it would be just boom in your FC house.
Yeah, you don't have to join anything.
But not everybody has an FC house.
Well, then you wouldn't be checking the FC board.
It would be like a hunt board, but for your FC.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Next question was, with the streamlining of the 2.0 MSQ, will there be any changes to the main scenario, roulette dungeons, Castra Meridium, and the Praetorium?
Nope. We don't plan on making any changes at the moment. We would like to revisit the overall design of dungeons sometime in the future, but we haven't had the time to get to it yet.
I thought this was weird. I thought if they were going to do a streamline and a revamp, that they would add this to the trust system. But apparently not. Oh well. You got to keep on running that. It sucks for the people who actually need it and they stay in queue for a long time, and it sucks for the MSQ roulette because it's really not worth the tomes that you get. Because no one really wants to do the MSQ roulette. People only do it.
I'm sure some people do.
They only do it for either the tomes or what was it, the Moogle tomes that they introduced.
Yeah.
No one's really doing that shit for fun. Oh, thank you for that raid, RNG and T.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. We're going over a GamerEscape interview right now. And the next question from them is, with the recent patch you added ocean fishing. It's a very different kind of content than you've previously released. Are there any other types of larger, more casual content that you are considering?
And Yoshi responds, yes. The personalities of modern-day gamers are quite diverse, and nowadays the way people choose to spend their time differs from person to person depending on their personality. It's very important to have content that's readily accessible, and we plan to actively implement more of this type of content in the future. Okay, that was kind of an obvious response because ocean fishing was like incredibly popular, so they're gonna be like, hell yeah, we're gonna do more of that. People liked it, so we're gonna do that again. Like that, I don't know.
Well, I think it's good, though, because I want him to take more risks and going to different types of content. Like, not everything has to be a grind. Even though I guess ocean fishing was kind of a grind until you got to the score you needed to get the mount.
I mean, but it was a really fun. If you're gonna call it a grind, I wouldn't call it a grind. It was fun.
But
Fun
it was
experience.
something that, as long as you got on within 2 hours of playing, so you made sure you caught at least one
Yeah.
boat going out. It didn't take a long time to do.
Nope. You just had to make sure you had all the fishing abilities unlocked, so you could actually catch the fish you wanted to catch.
Yeah.
Unlike me. But anyways,
So that's just a few questions of a couple of interviews that came out this week. We're going to go over a few more next week because I wanted to make sure we have time to teach me some lore.
Teaching me lore so we'll know some shit.
all right, Pete. So
R.I.P.
the Adventurers Guild is an organization for adventurers.
Yes, it is. I got it right.
Founded under the idea that an idle person is a dangerous one. By offering work to those who seek it, they are less likely to turn to banditry. Like why wives give husbands honey-do lists. Keeps them out of trouble.
You say so.
All right, so there are 4 proprietors of the Adventurers Guild. First of all, what are the 4 cities they are located in? And then I'm going to name all 4 of them, and you're going to tell me who resides in which city.
There's 4?
Mhm.
Wait. Did you need me to answer right now, or are you doing something else?
Tell me the 4 cities.
Ulda,
Mm-hmm.
Limsa, Lominsa,
Mhm.
and Gridania.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, New Gridania. There's another Adventurers Guild.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Ishgard Foundation? Was it Ralgar's Reach?
It's going to be a Realm Reborn.
Oh, was it Mordana?
Revenant's
Toll.
Revenant's Toll. Yes. All right. So do you want me to read all 4 names to you first, or do you want me to give you a name and have you guess?
I didn't even consider that the Adventurers Guild over there.
That person is considered part of the Adventurers Guild.
Interesting.
So do you want to try to name the one as like right away, and then we'll go on to the next one, and then at the end I'll tell you if you were right?
Wait, what's the next question?
So now you have to match the name with the region. With the city.
I believe that M is in Ulda Mamodi.
But I'm going to give you the names.
Oh.
I'm saying is I'll read one name and you tell me what city you think it is.
Okay.
And we'll go through that way and I'll tell you if you're right.
I can do that.
So A is Batteron 10 Fingers.
Batteron 10 Fingers. That would be Limsa Lominsa.
Okay. B is Mamodi Modi.
That would be Ulda.
Mm-hmm. C is Slafborn Rotwitzen.
Oh no, that seems like Limsa Lominsa.
Do you want to change your answer?
From the first one, yeah.
So what's the first one then?
Give me the 4th one.
Mother Mion.
Mother Mione. I think that one is Gridania.
Okay. So then where is Batteron 10 Fingers?
So that must be Revenant's Toll.
So is that your final answer?
Yes.
You know what was so sad is you were right to begin
Damn
with,
it.
and you changed it.
Damn it.
So Batteron 10 Fingers is in Limsa. He's a pirate. Mamodi Modi is in Ulda. Slafborn Rotswitzen is in not Ralgar's Reach. I keep wanting to do that. Revenant's Toll. And Mother Mion is in Gridania. I started my very first character. Well, my still same character. I started Gridania, actually. So it always holds like a little special place in my heart. A little city, you started. And I know you're an Ulda boy. You're very...
I am. Started, my very first character was actually a trial character on your account.
Right.
But it was still a thaumaturge, so I started in Ulda. Last time I played Alala.
Good job, Beva.
All right, let's get to the
Got
main...
it wrong, but you got the cities right.
Yeah, let's get to the main event. We got the live letter that just happened this morning. So you guys, be sure to call in if there's anything you want to talk about the live letter. All you do is join the Discord and then hop on the On Deck channel. And then I will bring you live on air and we can see what you have to talk about. But this live letter was hosted by Yoshi P and Foxclon. Foxclon translated a little bit for Yoshida for his opening statements. And Yoshida read a letter from a medical worker that was written to them, thanking them for keeping the servers up So they had a place to escape to when they got off work because they're on the front lines of fighting COVID-19. And Yoshi P just wanted to take the time to be like, no, don't thank us. We're thanking you right now.
We're glad we can give you something to like take your mind off of your day to day.
Yeah, so Yoshi P made a point as very heartfelt to everyone in the healthcare services that are fighting COVID-19 right now and keeping people safe. So that was very cool. Voice actor, he also let people know that voice actors are working from home, so MSQ will continue to have voice acting.
That's actually really good because that was something we had talked about. We were wondering if going forward, or maybe this was a Discord conversation, if there was going to be less voice acting because of that. So that's really wonderful to know that they are still able to do so. I wonder if they like sent high quality audio recording equipment to their homes.
I don't even think they probably have to do that. I think a lot of people in the industry probably have a room set up already.
But I mean, you can't assume that. So
you want a job. And he goes on to say that all the devs are working from home now. They have like their own internal test environments that they can work on before pushing updates to like the main server. And they are nearly done getting everyone set up to be able to like work efficiently from home. Like they're all kind of set up now in makeshift ways, but they're working on getting everyone exactly what they need.
Hey, I get that. I'm IT for my job, so that was like what I got to do. We're still figuring out stuff to get it so people can work efficiently from home. And right when we get it working is when we're going to go back to work.
And the first hurdle they have to clear for this is, like I said, everyone has their local environment now before they put it to the main server. And he said one of the problems they're starting to run into is people's internet problems, because instead of just doing it on the local Square Enix network, and it's really quick, it's now all going through everyone's individual internet, and it's depending on their speeds.
Well, and everyone is on the internet now more than before, so
and then if those updates aren't getting pushed in a timely manner, you might be waiting for someone's update to come through before you can get started on your part. And
Yep. That sounds like my everyday. I feel you guys. I feel you, Square Enix.
And the next thing he mentioned is that home spaces in Japan in general are much smaller than they are in the West. So it's been a bit of a struggle and transition for people working at home, whether it's finding a space that they can work at or annoying family members because they're working.
I don't know anything about that.
He said that some of the like dev units that they have to work on are quite loud and quite noisy. And so they have that to deal with. And like I said, bad internet. And some houses don't have enough power to run all the machines that they need to use now.
That's so tough.
They're doing their best. They're trying to get everything going.
So yeah, do the best. That's all you can do is do the best you can and hope that your fan base is understanding. And I hope the fan base is understanding, because it's not like this was a choice for anybody, you know?
Yeah. And he said that now they are communicating individually with everyone to try to get them whatever they need to continue to work at a high level, at a high quality as well. And originally the estimate was about a month delay for patch 5.3. He now says it could be 2 weeks on top of that, so about a month and a half delay.
Probably because they didn't expect the setup to get people working from home to take as long as it did.
Yeah, so he added on a couple weeks to the original delay that we talked about either last week or 2 weeks ago.
Just means everyone is going to have every single relic weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that takes like 10 minutes. The new, he says the new 24-player raid is coming next patch, and they have never had to like have everyone away from the office when something like that happens.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't really know how trying to test that with 24 developers all on their individual test machines are going to work for that. But they're doing their best, and they're excited about all the content coming in patch 5.3. So let's get to it. We learned that the title of the patch is being called Reflections in Crystal, and the artwork they showed with this title name is the Crystal Exarch, and he has a crystal hovering between his hands.
That's likely the crystal that they're trying to imbue so we can put our spirits, our souls essentially in it and go back to...
Not us, but our Scion friends.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. And we're going to carry it. Sorry.
We're going to keister it? Is that how we're going to get them back?
We're going to carry it.
How we're going to carry it. How are we going to get through TSA? you gotta keister that shit.
No. Maybe your character is, but not my character.
My character definitely is.
We're supposed to be wrapping up the Shadowbringers story for the MSQ, so that's really exciting. Can't wait to see how it all ends.
For you, what would wrapping up the Shadowbringer story
Oh, don't put me on the spot with that. Like, that's a lot.
Like, to you, like, what is Shadowbringers? To me, Shadowbringers is all about the first. I feel like we've already kind of wrapped that up.
We haven't gotten the Scions off yet.
Yeah, I'm saying, I guess that was a part of Shadowbringers, but it's like the minor part. I feel like we've already wrapped up like the main story of Shadowbringers.
No, we've got what's his nuts? See, because this is why you can't put me on the spot. 'Cause I'm spouting names. We're probably gonna get an extreme primal or fight with.
You talking about Elidibus?
Yes, thank you. With the guy.
Yeah, but it's not like Elidibus was a new character in Shadowbringers. You could say now we're wrapping up the Realm Reborn storyline if our final battle is Elidibus.
Maybe, but still, that's part of Shadowbringers. That's kind of like what's reopening Shadowbringers again, potentially. So we got to like nip that in the bud.
I'm really curious if anything extraordinary is going to happen with the Crystal Exarch. I feel like if he's just...
I think it's going to die.
If he's just like left there to live on the first...
I mean, but the thing is, he was planning on dying to begin with bringing us there in order to send us back. So it's the more like...
Now he's going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice again to get us back. He's going to have to imbue the crystals with his power.
He is.
We're going to go in his crystal hand. We're just going to break that shit off, keister it, and go on back.
Why are you into this whole keister thing right now? No, I think it's like it's his destiny. So it's one of those things that can't be avoided. I do think that people will be very upset if he dies, but I think that he is a stronger character who has enough built up that I'm deeming this like a good death. Like if they kill him, this is a character that they've invested enough time and energy in that I would like give me some feels, and I like that.
Or maybe like we are going to imbue the Scions into like pieces of his crystal body. I'll let the imagination run wild. But he's going to come back to the source with us. And he can't go back.
And so then he's just going to be crystal?
No, he's just going to be with us in the source.
But we're putting them in his body and we're taking his body back.
We'll put him back in the crystal tower.
My God, no, you're like making shit up now. That doesn't even work. Ugh. All right. So
I thought it was that's my wild speculation.
I think it's wrong. All right. There is going to be a new dungeon called the Hero's Gauntlet. And like all new dungeons, it will be able to run as a trust. And the picture they gave us had trees like you see in Lakeland, but then it had the little murder bushes of Ilmeg. So it's kind of a cross between the two areas meet, and there was a lot of water as well with the, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they really didn't give away much for the dungeon at all.
But those are two plant life. God, words are hard today, you guys. It's been a long week. That don't coincide together. Like they're not in the same zone.
Well, they're connected.
But we don't see them together ever. Do we?
They're like aren't they like literal zones? Like there's an entrance.
Right, but we don't see those plants together.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. What do you think about the name, the Hero's Gauntlet? What does that make you think? Is it going to be like a gauntlet that we have to run and it has heroes of
I'm gonna be super nerdy with this, but you know what it made me think of?
Like a gauntlet that you wear?
No.
Oh.
It made me think of the video game Gauntlet. You got to get your turkey legs in order to get your HP and keep. I freaking loved Gauntlet, you guys. That game was awesome. That's what it made me think of. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna turn little dudes and be like, fire the turkey leg. Like, that'd be amazing.
Different generation.
Or was it a ham bone? Dude, there were so many gauntlets. Dark Legacy, yeah, see, yeah.
Okay, now that you've gotten that out of the way, do you have any predictions?
You literally asked like what I thought of. That is like exactly what I thought of. I was like, Gauntlet. Oh man, I haven't played Gauntlet in so long. That's what I thought. Easily distracted. See, everybody's mounted combat incoming.
Gonna be jousting.
That'd be hilarious. I think it's gonna be a trial for us to prove ourselves as a hero. Is what that means. Like that's what a gauntlet is. It's like.
So we're the hero and we're running the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought too. And then I thought, maybe it could be a gauntlet filled of like heroes that we're going to have to battle ourselves against and test us?
No, not a dungeon.
I don't know.
You wild speculate that we're playing a different game. Like, that's what your wild speculation is.
Like, what if we had to go up against all of the Warriors of Darkness just to prove ourselves or something like that?
I mean, that they could be the boss fights, but I think that's kind of boring.
Elidibus is trying to turn them all into heroes now.
I mean, no, he hasn't said that he's doing anything with all of them. Just Ardbert's the only one he seems to care about.
Yeah, he's a figurehead for the whole tribe.
But you're like adding story that's not there right now.
That's what wild speculation is.
Okay.
I just need a breadcrumb.
I know.
I'll turn it into something amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Next, they didn't really preview anything. They just talked about it.
Oh, KK said something a really good idea. It's actually a trial for the new Warrior of Lights because now everyone is a Warrior of Light. That's actually cool, or maybe it's just us proving that we are the Warrior of Light or Darkness or whatever the heck it is. Above all of them, I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to see how that. I could see like all of the Warriors of Lights running in for something, and like it would be kind of cool if like the beginning of the dungeon kind of had them with us. You saw them on the sidelines and they were fighting stuff and they all die because they suck, and then we go through and progress the story and are the actual Warrior of Light through it that way. Because I liked it in Shadowbringers when they kind of had like the NPCs in the background and stuff that kind of progressed the story. I thought that was really cool. So, Do
you run these dungeons with actual players, or do you run them as trust first?
I run them with players.
Yeah, me too. But I do like running it as a trust, kind of for the reason you just mentioned. Like, I like seeing all the whoever we're with at the time in the story in the dungeon with us. I think that actually adds a bit to the immersion.
That makes sense. That does make sense. I just enjoy doing it with other people because I feel like the mechanics are so easy when you're doing it with a trust because they show you what you're supposed to do because they're doing the mechanic. And if I like to do it blind with people who like are also like, whoa, what was that? Like, that's more fun.
But trusts are actually good for that same reason for the people that don't like learning it blind, and they are like, oh, I see Y'shtola running out of the way. I should probably do that too.
I don't remember what fight it was, but there was a dungeon that I made a point to run it with the trust because I wanted to better understand the mechanics of one of the boss fights. And I knew that if I saw the trust do it, I would be like, oh, I get it now. Okay. So you can use it.
Probably had to be the first one because you have to level them after that to get to the other dungeons.
No. You got to do them one time each through while you were leveling.
Yeah, but you couldn't have gone back and...
No, yeah, it was one of... I don't know, but...
So yeah, Heroes Gauntlet, I think that should... I wish it was a little bit like... I wish we have one unique fight, and I don't know why the name brought me back to this dungeon of Bardem's Metal.
Okay.
Because to me, that was kind of like running a gauntlet, and I think it was the second fight, maybe it was the first fight, that was kind of like a Simon Says type thing.
Yeah.
I hope we have a fun but unique fight like that. Because otherwise, every dungeon is basically the same. It's cool always seeing the different mobs that they come up with and the different bosses they come up with. But I like something that makes us do a little something different.
That's why, like, you want to do something different. And I like having the story progress through the dungeon without having to be in the trust. I like having those kind of elements.
And the next beast tribe we're getting are the dwarves. So I guess you could call this like a Lala beast tribe.
Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. I don't know how I feel about that. That's like wrong.
And this is going to be crafting only. What do you think about that, Avi? Do you like crafting only beast tribe?
I don't care. I won't do it.
Well, if you won't do it, I don't think that's a good thing.
I didn't even do the Moogle. Did I start the Moogle one? I might have started. I did the Namazu. That story was really funny. So I will give them that. Like, the Namazu was really fun, but I like that you had the option to craft or gather.
Yes.
Which was really nice to have like an option.
I wish they would have done that as well, because I don't think we need a separate one for gathering, which we just got, and then a separate one for crafting, which we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And most likely going to be the last beast tribe that we get for Shadowbringers, because we got 3 in Heaven's Ward, we got 3 in Stormblood, and this is going to be our 3rd one.
I mean, it makes sense. They did like DPS or whatever, fighting class, gatherer, crafter, if that's how they want to do it. Like, that's fine.
I guess it's just because I'm really lazy in my alt leveling, and I really enjoy having another beast tribe to be able to get some
It is
XP.
great for that.
Get some XP on my Disciple of Magic and War.
And it does kind of suck that they separated them because, especially with the Restoration of Ishgard and the new Diadem, it's so fast to level your crafters and gatherers that like the people running this won't actually be doing it for experience
That was actually
points.
another point I had. I'm like, oh my god, they've made it so easy to level crafters and gatherers that you don't even need a beast tribe to help out with that anymore.
In Diadem, I got my botanist and my miner were both level 79, like just hit level 79, both of them, and I got both of them to 80 in like 45 minutes total in Diadem. Like that was pretty surprising.
Esper saying, curious if it will be about who has the best beards again for the dwarves. Dwarves are funny, so it should be a good story, just because dwarves are so funny on their own. I just wish it wasn't only. I guess dwarves are kind of known for like crafting and mining and shit like that, though, right?
They're known for mining. Well, and yeah, they are. But that would make them the perfect crafter and gatherer.
Yeah, true.
Like I don't know. I liked how with the Namazu, like my intent was to level my gatherers first because I like using them, and then so I would do my gatherers first, and then once they hit 80, I would just swap and then start continuing doing it on my crafters. I liked having that option because for like there being an entire beast tribe dedicated to 3 classes, can fishing do it? Okay,
Fishing can do gathering ones.
That's not a lot of classes to like dedicate to like something that's the story is fun. Sometimes I haven't done the Shadowbring those ones yet. Like sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's like eh. So if you don't really like the rewards and you don't really like the story and you already have the experience points, there's not a lot of drive to do that. So the Namazu, it had all of that in one package, and I liked that about it.
Yeah.
I just also feel like a lot of Shadowbringers has been given to crafters and gatherers that like they didn't need one more thing.
Like, you've gotten enough.
You guys got enough. Good. Make it like a healer-only beast tribe or something. Make it a tank-only beast tribe. I don't know if you're going to do that. Like, try to make people level more tanks and healers.
That's the bone they throw the healers for not introducing a new healer in Shadowbringers.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you want to separate it off and, like, it's... I don't know.
And Mieko says, I feel like they made the best beast tribes not for the XP, but for the story. Yeah, I mean... I felt like Stormblood actually did a really good job on all of the beast tribes. I enjoyed the stories, and yeah, I mean the Namazu was great for crafters and gatherers. Good story. I like the Ananta story.
KK says I despise the rat beast tribe. Which one is the rat beast tribe?
That's
new one?
The newest one with the people from the Raktika Greatwood. I forget.
So you don't like them?
I forget the race they're called.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of sucks. Then why you're not going to do it, or you're going to like slug your way through it?
Maybe he just hates rats.
I don't know. Kikirin. God damn it.
Mieko says my basis is on how they cap the experience for Ixal and Moogle Quest. Yeah, once you get into the new expansion, like if you're level 55 or whatever and you try to go and do the Ixal, you don't get shit for EXP. So it's not really worth it for you to do it just for the EXP if you've already leveled them. Like if you leveled really quickly, it's not worth going back to the Ixal just for the experience.
But you would go back on an alt.
But no one really wants to make an alt.
Not an alt, I meant like on another job. Like
I mean, some people, like I've noticed a lot of people don't even think about the A Realm Reborn Beast Tribes anymore because
they're horrible.
You level so quickly,
yeah,
that you don't necessarily go to do them, and you don't really need anything from them anymore. I mean, I think the best stuff you get from Ixal is like up to like grade 3 materia or something.
Oh, and I guess
like
they're
that.
capped at 10k and 100k experience.
Yeah, if you're like level 51 and you go do a level 50, you get 10k.
In my opinion, you do the Realm Reborn Beast Tribes for the mount and for the dies that it unlocks. That's why you do those. That's it. And maybe like to say you've done them all. You don't really, those ones you don't do for experience. You do those because you're a DPS waiting in queue for something to pop and you've already maxed out all your other beast tribes and you're just kind of doing stuff like, yeah.
And you'd level much too quickly if that scaled up all the way to level 80, because then you could do the Ixal and then the Moogles and then the Namazu, and that's a shit ton of EXP if it's scaled with you all the way up.
Yeah, so I get that.
So I'm excited about the dwarves themselves. I'm sure it's going to be a good story. Just a little bummed that it's crafting only. I wish it would have been a magic and war.
I mean, I didn't do the Namazu Beast Tribe until like got into Stormblood, and you said it was
Stormblood.
No, it was like it was way past it. Like I actually finished it, finally maxed it out when Shadowbringers hit, like after Shadowbringers hit, like way end of Stormblood, and it was really fun. And I don't want to craft Beast Tribe stuff. Like I don't know, this entire expansion, like the story has been amazing, and like 70% of it has been for crafters and gatherers. Like maybe it's a high number, but it feels that way.
I don't know if you felt that way before the last patch.
No, but since the last patch, it's all been crafters and gatherers. Like, come on, how many are there? How many patches are there? It's like, come on, it's a lot.
And the next thing they went on to was Chronicles of a New Era quests, and the newest one is The Sorrow of Wurlet. So this goes on from the Ruby Weapon, continuing that quest line. They say it's going to be story-focused, and it will include an instanced encounter, but we're not going to have a trial for it.
Right.
So what do you think about that? Do you think you're going to miss out on not having a trial, or...
You're the trial guy more than I am.
I think as long as what we're going to get to after this, we are going to have a trial. We don't necessarily need it for this Chronicles of the New Era.
Well, people are calling it the Sapphire Weapon. It is blue, Pete. You said you don't see it as blue. It's blue.
Didn't seem that blue to me.
It's blue. It's very blue. And I mean, aren't there like... I didn't play 7, but aren't there like multiples of these weapons? Like a lot of them?
Well, we just had the Ruby Weapon. Now we have the Sapphire.
I know. How many are there total?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying is, so not every single one of them is going to need to have a trial. Like, you don't have to do a trial just because they're all there.
Yeah.
Like, it might be like a solo thing within the story where you fight the Sapphire Weapon in a solo thing and you get it before it's like reached its full capacity or something. I don't know.
I can understand how
there was 4. Thank you, Aurora.
How people can be a little upset about it, and it kind of doesn't feel right that, because usually when we do fights like this, we kind of feel like it's a progression where it's getting tougher and tougher. And now it's like you had a trial that you had to do with 8 people, and the next one you're going to solo, maybe with a couple friends.
Esper just said that the Sapphire one didn't even get attacked in 7. So this is fitting to continue with that then.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about Final Fantasy VII. I've just started playing the remake, and the remake probably doesn't even get to that part of the story. So, yeah, I'm okay with it not being a like legit 8-man trial, because I had a blast in the last just like solo instance we had with Sid for the Relic Weapon. I'm like, you can make a really fun and engaging solo instance. I even had fights with I even enjoyed the little fights we had in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, despite just the story, it was a lot of fun with the fights as well. So while we won't be getting a new trial as part of the Chronicles of a New Era, we will be getting one from the main story.
Of course.
And we will have normal and extreme difficulties from it. Do you have any preference if you'd rather have your new trial come from the MSQ or from a story like Chronicles of a New Era, like the Warring Triad that wasn't part of MSQ?
I think I prefer them from the MSQ, but it really doesn't matter. That's just like I kind of prefer it, but I don't really care. But if you're making me pick, that's what I would pick, because then it's more widely done. At least even just the base version of it, which I think then if more people do the base version of it, they're more likely to do the extreme version of it.
That's what I was thinking too. It's if you make it part of the main story, pretty much everyone's going to do it. They might not do the extreme version, but they're at least going to do the normal version of it.
And if you do the normal, you're more likely to do the extreme.
Yeah. But if it's a side quest that you have to go and find on your own, I mean, it's obviously really easy to find where they are, but if it's just part of the MSQ that you have to do, I like that. I like it a lot, actually. Any guesses on who it is?
Elidibus.
That's what the masses seem to be saying right now.
I mean, if it being MSQ, if it's not Elidibus, it's so they're saying the Shadowbringers story is going to be wrapped up, and there is a trial. It's Elidibus. Like, that is logically the only thing that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
It might be like Elidibus in some other form, like, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna. I would think it would be a little bit in Ardbert.
No, but I actually don't. I liked how, like, when we fought Emmett Selk, he became like Hades.
Oh,
Like, I think it's gonna be something like that. Like, Elidibus isn't gonna. He's like, he can do so much more than just fight us as Ardbert. Like, it's gonna be like a lot. This is the final MSQ trial of the Shadowbringers story. It's not gonna be Ardbert. Like, it might start as Ardbert, but it's gonna progress and become something huge and cinematic and amazing.
I don't know if they're going to kill Elidibus though. Like, be done with Elidibus though. I kind of feel like he's going to work his way into the next expansion. He's going to have to do something with Xenos coming up. Like, they're just going to keep that shit going.
I don't know.
We're going to be in 8.0, and every answer to Teaching P lore is still going to be Asians. Next, we will be getting the long-awaited second part of the Yorha Dark Apocalypse raid, being called the Puppets Bunker. And the picture we got this looks like a crash site. And it might look familiar to you if you played Nier Automata. Maybe something from the sky fell. I don't know. I haven't done the extra 2 quests that came in patch 5.2 from those dwarves, which are kind of tied in with this Alliance raid. I figured I would wait to do those until this actually came out. Otherwise, I would forget by the time it came out.
Oh, I see. I was like, why?
I just don't have a good memory when I have to wait 3 months in between episodes, basically.
That's fair. Great person to a podcast.
I mean, you just got to refresh my memory and then I'm good. I'm excited for this. I really liked the last raid. My only critique for that last raid was I thought the bosses had a little too much HP because you kind of got through all of their rotations and they still weren't dead yet.
I mean, but they didn't really, it was really hard for them to wipe a group too, so it didn't really matter.
And I guess I've definitely talked about that before, even in previous raids. I think there should be a little more punishment for the players when half the group dies. Like, that shouldn't be something that you really recover from.
Yeah.
But that seems to be kind of how it is now. Because what's that one? I forget the name of the guy who shoots you like a sniper. The first time we did that, he wiped like over half the Alliance.
That entire raid, though, every fight was like that.
Except for, is that Sidolphus?
Yeah.
Sidolphus, that was hard to come back from.
Like, that entire raid, every single fight was, when you were first doing it, was could wipe the group. But then that's also the raid that they've now made easier because people, all of the Evil East raids were really rough. And I feel like...
I didn't even think they were rough. I thought there were a couple mechanics that could wipe a lot of the group, but you guys didn't actually wipe. They were really easy to come back from.
Bullshit.
Except for Sidolphus.
You must
Thunder
have been
God.
running with like a lot of... That was once the raids had been around for a while.
No, the first time we went into that, as KKA said, his name is Mustadio, he wiped over half of the Alliance and we came back and beat it.
That fight, yes. But every other fight after that, no.
The only part I ever
When
remember...
I'm talking about when it was new.
Yeah.
The guy with the freaking lion head with the like flame arm and stuff, that wiped people all the time. There's a lot of them. Like the Evil East raids could wipe groups hard when it was new. When it was new, like you had to be ready to be in there for a while every time you queued for it for like the first few weeks. Because you didn't know who you were going to get in your group.
I don't remember it that way.
You weren't a healer.
But
you were a healer. You would remember that shit.
I don't like to play on easy mode. What can I say?
You're a tank. You play on easy mode all the time. 1, 2, 3.
How come I have so many more buttons on my tank than on my healer then?
Because you're a bad healer.
Yeah, I probably just didn't put them on there. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Tank privilege. She's not wrong. See, like... Yeah, it was when you're the one healing, you notice how often people die and how much recovery is required and the effort involved. And it makes you a better healer. I mean, playing content like that definitely makes you a better healer. But, and that's a tank agreeing, Pete. Damn. It hurt.
Don't be a self-hating tank. Always blame the healer.
Oh, care about your healer, then they'll care about you instead of going, he'll just return. It'll be fine.
I will say, as much as I enjoyed the raid, which I always call the Nier raid. I don't go Yorha, Dark Apocalypse. I guess because I can't say it.
I call it the Nier.
As much as I enjoyed the fights themselves and like the way it looked was awesome. They did a really good job of combining Nier with it.
Yes.
I don't feel like the story part of it hit very well.
No, that was very common. There wasn't much story. The story was like, hey, look, here's this chick who's like what do you call her? A cyborg, an AI? What do you call her? What's the
Basically, I don't know what her. I don't even.
There's like a proper term for her. I didn't want to like butcher it. You played the game. I figured.
I played the game, but like most things,
You data dumped.
But
it was just like an android. Thank you, Miyako. I was like, it's one of those.
The
A real
story of Nier-
KK, no.
Story of Nier also didn't hit me as much as some other people. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, it's the most amazing game ever." I'm like, I kind of feel like I've seen these themes a lot in movies and TV shows, and they did it better.
That's fair. You made me forget but the hope was that because like with the Evilise raids, they went like heavy on the story at the beginning, which was wonderful for people who had that nostalgia element. Our hope is, which we've talked about on previous episodes, is that they went light on the story with the beginning of the Nier so that they can introduce the characters, introduce the world, and then hit you with more story as the raid progresses. So I'm really hoping that with this next tier of the raid, we get a bunch more story coming into it, and then that kind of leads into it. That would really make me appreciate it. But that being said, I enjoy the aesthetic. It was some of the best looking gear. The butt floss, everybody's talking about, not even talking about the butts they gave us, but like the gear itself is just beautifully designed.
I actually think this raid and the Evilise kind of suffered a lot from the same thing, which was I feel that people that didn't play the game that it was based around didn't really get it.
But
it didn't hit hard.
I feel like
because I didn't give a shit about Evilise.
The rewards you got for this one made up for it for a lot of people. People were doing it in the beginning to get that like the glamour that you could wear on her outfit because the pieces of it were so great. So they kind of made up for the fact like, hey, you may not care about the story, but look at this awesome shit you get from doing it. And so like that kept people going in.
Yeah, I'm more about the
smart.
fights anyways than the story for the Alliance raid, so it's not a big deal for me. But Evilise definitely, I know a lot of people who played Tactics or whatever, they thought it was awesome.
Right. No, and I think that's great.
Didn't hit at all.
I think you need it's a hard place to hit in the middle. You want to like find that place where people really enjoy the story even if they didn't play the game, and then you leave little nuggets for those who did.
If you're going to tell a story, it has to be good on its own. It can't rely on nostalgia someone has from another game.
And how you said you don't really care about having story from your raids, Pete?
It's not that I don't care. It's like I don't 100% need it to be able to enjoy the fights. So.
I play every game for the story. That's why I play games. So like if I get better story with 24-man content, that just makes it more enjoyable for me. So I hope for good story in everything I play.
It's not everything you watch. Heyo. Next, we have Resistance Weapons, Avi, which is also known as the Relic Weapon.
Yes.
Did you get any others, or you just did it on your main?
It's not even... I don't even know what my main is anymore. I did on my Dancer because my Dancer had the worst weapon. That was how I did it. Like, I tried to kind of keep them equal.
Your main had kind of become Black Mage.
No, it wasn't my main. It was like I was giving Black Mage a chance, and you crafted me all the gear, and so like her eye level just like shot up. And so it wasn't that it was my main. It was just she was geared really well, really fast. That was it.
You just go for the fast girls, huh?
Okay. So for the resistance weapon, we're going to be getting the first step in upgrading it. And they said that there will be a Eureka-style 100-player zone, but that you will not have to do this in order to complete the relic. There will be a way for outside of the zone for you to do the relic, but they didn't actually tell us what you'll be doing. And they're going to give us more details in the next live letter, which I think is really cool because some people did like Eureka, some people did not. And to give different options, I mean, is wonderful because that's actually how a lot of the relics were done in the past was, you know, like you farmed for light, but you didn't have to farm for light the same way everybody else did. You could like hit it hard and like go on what was the brightest light and do it bam, bam, bam. Or you'd be like, you know what, I'm just going to run my dailies, get my light as I get it, and then my relic weapon will be done when it's done. Like you could approach it differently.
It was nice that you could get a little bit of progress for it without actually trying to. You could just do like your normal shit and you'd get a little bit of light for it or something like that.
It'd take you a really long time. But I'm like, And they did say it's not going to, honestly, there was so much hate on Eureka that I don't think they even should have said it'll be a Eureka style 100-player zone, but not like Eureka, because that's so dumb. Like, don't even put the word Eureka in there. Like, once you say that, people like boom tie it to Eureka. So there's already like anyone who hated Eureka already has a negative inclination toward this, and they're like, sweet, I have an alternative. But it might actually not be anything like Eureka. It's just that it's like a zone where 100 players can be in at once. Like, so we'll see.
Yeah, I am really interested in what it is going to be doing, because Eureka to me was just, it was boring. Like, we had the elementals, we had to kill mobs for those elementals, we had to...
It was Final Fantasy XI.
We had to spin our elemental sphere and whatever, which was pretty dumb. Like, I didn't enjoy that shit at all. And it just felt like I was doing this for nothing other than my relic weapon. Like, the story wasn't hidden for me.
Yeah, no. I don't think I even finished it.
Oh, hell no. I mean, we...
the story, I don't...
No, we didn't. We did...
I was farming it for, like, some of the relic gear because I actually wanted the dyeable versions of the gear, not because I actually wanted the gear for it to be good.
Yeah, we both did Animos. We did that together. Mm-hmm. And then the next one, Pyros, I think we're probably still the same level, even though I play way more than you right now.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't go back to Eureka. And like, maybe I have one more level than you, because I've tried going back a couple times, because I want to do Baldessian Arsenal. I want that damn Ozma mount.
That mount is the only thing that's like, that is so cool.
I'm just going to have to wait until they basically make it soloable.
You tank, I'll heal you, baby. We'll get it.
And really, it's not even that. Like, there aren't people to do it. It's just like, it's so not fun to me that they're going to have to make the lead up to, like, they can keep the Baldessian Arsenal fight the same for all I care. Just bump up that speed of that treadmill on the way up to the Baldessian Arsenal, and I'll be good.
All right.
I'm interested in how they're going to do this, though, because so far what we know is, like, Bosja's like trying to fight for their independence.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be something as boring as elementals in this zone. Like, I wonder if they're going to...
I mean, it could be.
Like, I get that everything is basically a fate, but if they can make fates a little more interesting, like, we're trying...
They didn't even say it's going to be fates.
No, I know, but, like, what else are you going to do in a zone? There's going to be fates.
I don't know.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Crafting circle? I mean, I would love that. But I don't know if other people would love
that. You've got that in the Ishgardian Restoration, and you don't even do it. So shut up with your
I
love
know.
for the crafting circle. You don't actually love it.
I
You're
don't
a
want
faker.
a crafting circle unless it's hardcore content.
He wants it like
where
by
everyone
himself.
has to press the button.
He
at
wants
the same
to like
time.
be the awkward guy crafting in the corner, and everybody's like, "What is that sound?"
Doing some in the corner, but it's not crafting.
That was the joke. You didn't need to already said. So speaking of crafting,
No, but I want to say, like, I hope the Bosjan Southern Front is like something to do with like skirmishes with the Garleans or something like that, and we're like trying to actively fight to get their independence. And if they can make good fates where it's like capture this objective, capture that objective.
You want like capture the flag PvP like you had from Dark Age of Camelot?
No, I mean we're not fighting any other people or anything like that.
No, but
look at that.
what?
Chris just said, wild speculation. We're gonna have to take objectives and fight notorious officers, etc.
So then that makes it more like a hunt.
I mean, objectives. If call it a fate, call it a hunt. It's the same damn thing.
Fates are different than hunts.
Is it really? They have fates that are killing one monster.
Yes, but the hunt is that you have like the bill to go kill this notorious officer, this notorious
I understand
monster.
that there's a difference and there's nuance to them, but they're basically the same thing.
But they're not, because the fate goes, the fate is up right now, and then the hunt has no time limit, and once it's killed, it can respawn someplace else, and you just gotta like find it.
I believe I don't have my fate sound effect on here anymore. Oh well. I don't know why you're trying to argue that basically everything isn't a fate. It is basically a fate. And I hope that we just have some skirmishes. And I don't know what notorious officers are. Sounds a little too much like notorious monsters to me. But I don't know. Just make it interesting. It wasn't fun just killing mobs to spawn a bigger mob. So don't make me kill foot soldiers to kill a notorious officer. It's the goddamn same thing.
I think it would be cool when I was saying capture the flag, like PvP, I was meaning it like not against other players, but against the Garleans. And you've got to capture different parts of the castle of the Garleans. And like maybe they're more intelligent mobs because they've been able to do the squadrons and the trusts, and they can make them more like other like players. Like that would be cool. That's my wild speculation. Like that would be kind of an interesting dynamic where like we take one area, we occupy it, if, you know, they can take it back. Be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do this, but I would love if this involved, like, basically you have a map, and at the top of the map is your independence, your freedom, and you basically have to fight your way across the map, but it opens, like, kind of slowly. Like, there's a certain number you have to get to unlock this part of the map, and then you're just, like, constantly fighting your way to your freedom, and, you know,
kind of the same thing I just said, but like a different word.
How they do it, but that would be interesting.
Okay.
All right. Finally, what you've been waiting for. Go ahead. Crafting and gathering.
You talk about this.
You wanted to go to it.
I just want to move on. This episode, we've got a lot to go through still.
No, we don't. We're like almost done. Crafting and gathering. Trial synthesis. Now you can try a recipe without the items. This might seem similar to what we got in the last patch, but even for that, you had to buy like this faux something or whatever. You had to buy like fake materials to be able to make the item. I know you never did it.
Nope.
But it cost you like 50 gil or something like that instead of millions of gil to try something out. But now you're just going to be able to do it without having to buy a fake recipe or anything like that.
Makes sense.
And what might be the best part, the best quality of life adjustment in this patch is being able to search your inventory for whatever crafting items you have to make a recipe. So you're going to be able to search for recipes from the items you have in your inventory.
Okay, so you explained that as the opposite of how I interpreted it. You made it sound like you can take a recipe and see if you have those items in your inventory. I thought it was you see an item in your inventory and see what recipes that item is used for.
I took it as press whatever button they call it, and it's going to say you can make this, 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 and this from what's in your inventory.
Okay, the way you just said it before, that sounded like the opposite. That's why I was just trying to make sure.
Well, that's how I took it. Recipes from your inventory. That's the note I took.
That's really cool because how many times have you had like that random thing in your inventory and you're just like
397 times.
What do I do with this? And then you have to Google it, and then you have to find the right site that actually links all the recipes. And so this is like a really user-friendly, kind of like, you know, the iSearch function. So like, do I have this item in my inventory? Just very, very good quality of life, especially for crafters, because this is the crafters expansion.
I really hope this scans your retainers too, though.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Because if it doesn't,
if it works,
it's almost useless to me.
Well, it's not going to scan... Pete, it's not scanning all of your inventory. What it's doing is it's scanning the recipes in your crafting bag, like your crafting recipes. And it's, do any of those recipes use this one item? You're going to search one item at a time. You're going to search that one item, and then this one item can be used in all of these recipes. That's how it's going to work.
Oh, if that's how it works, it's not going to do much for me.
That's how it works. That's how I interpret it. And that's how you just said you did too.
No, I don't want to know everything that I can.
It's a reverse search, Pete. Yeah, it's what I just said.
I understand it's a reverse search, but I don't want to know everything that I can make with an oaken log. Like, I want to know what's in my inventory, and like with this combination of items, what can I make?
No, that's not what you're getting. It's a single item. You
that.
You made it way more
thing.
expansive than it is. It's literally like you have that random item in your inventory and you go, what do I do with this? You search it and it'll show you.
Garland tools.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's one of those cool features that took away, like if you played on PlayStation, you'd be able to now search that in game.
But then it will be like, oh, you can make this because you have this primal item drop. I was like, no, I can't make that because I don't have all the fucking other ingredients, and I have to go get them.
But then you can see them and you've got to go get them.
No.
It's a really good idea.
So it's an okay quality of life adjustment. It's not the great quality of life adjustment I thought it was.
You totally interpreted that wrong.
I only want to know what can I make without having to go gather anything else. And just let me bang those out.
That would be useless. Like, if I literally get this one random item and then I go, oh, what is this item used for? Oh, it's not going to tell me because I don't have all the other ingredients. That's useless.
Not for me. I just want to make inventory space.
No, well, it's because. Oh my god! And Icarus, thank you. He likes it as well. I think it's very helpful.
It's not helping me.
I really hope that I would like it to be used for like Alexander upgrade items that you forget what it's from. Like, it would be really cool to see that's used for this. Like, I don't know, those random items you're like too scared to throw away in your inventory. I know there's an add-on you can use. I've got the add-on. I never do it. But like, that would just be a cool in-game feature of like, this is outdated as fuck. You don't need this anymore. It would like let me know. That would be cool.
See it.
I hoard.
I just want a list of what can I make with what I have.
You'll need to go to the website for like a website for that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like if I have one item, it's really easy for me to go to another website and find out what I can make with it. It's really hard to find out everything I can make with 10 different items. But if you give me a list I can make with those 10 items,
that's like a crazy database, Pete. Like that level of database to be able to like search based off of 10 different items for every possible combination of those 10 items, and then only those 10 items, that's never gonna happen. That's like super in-depth database shit that this game does not even need to deal with.
What I want.
You're never getting it.
I'll never be happy if I don't get it.
You're never gonna be happy. You are never getting that. That is not a thing.
Garbage. What's not garbage is custom deliveries. I really like custom deliveries. Have you done any of them, Avi?
I don't know. Maybe
I need to get on your character just to do this so I can have more fucking
Even
scripts.
Miko just said that's a game dev's worst nightmare to try to make. Pete's brain. Please stay away from it.
I'm sure there's already someone that's done it.
Dude, that is insane what you just asked for.
Probably GamerEscape has something like that.
No, they don't. That is insane what you just requested. Like, the fact that that's insane. They don't even have, like, the websites that they make, they're like, what can I cook based off of the items in my fridge? They all suck. Because that kind of a database fucking sucks to try to create. Sucks.
But they already have the recipes.
So does the freaking websites I'm talking about. Icarus, let's be honest. Even if they did, he'd use it for 2 minutes, then he'd abandon it because it took too long to load. Yeah.
No. I would love that. I'd be able to clean up my inventory so much. It's like, oh, I can turn these 5 items into this. It's like, hell yeah, I'll just do that all day.
Why don't, Pete, what you would do is go find the most expensive item that you have, or the rarest, or whatever.
How do I know that?
Okay, pick one. And then you go search, and then, oh, it can be made in these recipes. And then you say, oh, this one takes this other item. You do / I search that item.
Much work.
And then you have it.
No.
So do you want the game?
You're talking to the person who crafts a lot.
You want the game to play for you.
I want it.
Yes, you want the game to think for you, because that's part of what crafting is figuring out like what you want to make and what things you have.
I have so many damn shit in my inventory.
Just sell it.
No, because I might need it.
Just sell it.
I'm a pack rat too.
Con Marie that shit. You guys, he won't even get rid of like shorts where the elastic is stretched out.
Condo? No. Comdo? What's her name?
Con Marie.
Why did I think it was Condo?
I don't know.
Condo Marie. Learn how to clean your condo with Condo. Custom deliveries, Avi.
Oh, Icarus, honey. I know.
Oh, Marie Kondo. That's why I thought it was. Why is it called Con Marie if her name is Marie Kondo?
It's like her business. It's the method.
Just people being difficult. Just for the sake of it.
I married that.
You married yourself? God damn. Custom deliveries, Avi. 3rd time I've said this. I love it. I love them. And if you would do them, you'd know that you could like rearrange what they wear. You can glamour. You can play dress up with those people.
I don't need more dress up people.
With this, we are getting changes to the collectible system. There's going to be a set list of items that will be applicable for turn-in. So I don't know if they're going to, you know how they rotate, right? Kind of like what you can turn in for Grand Company seals rotates.
Sure.
They rotate now. So if you make a whole bunch of something, if you make a whole bunch of collectibles and you don't turn them in by the time it rotates, you have to hold them until they come up again.
And then you forget what they are and you get mad at the game because it won't search for all of them at once?
No, those are collectibles. So they don't stack. So I know where the fuck they are.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So I don't know if it's going to be like that or if they're just going to pare down the list and that's just always going to be what it is. Because if they don't pare down the list, it's a pretty fucking long list. I don't know. And then light custom deliveries, crafted and gathered items will be used only for collectibles. So it's not going to be something that you can craft or gather as not a collectible. So that makes me think they're going to have to change it. Because I think there's definitely some stuff you turn in for gathering collectibles that you would use for crafting. So I think there's going to be a new list of stuff.
Yay.
Probably new nodes and whatnot. And Ishgardian Restoration, Avi's favorite piece of content to come in Shadowbringers, is headed into the third phase. Sky Builder rankings will reopen. New items will count towards your Skyward score. Top to rank players will receive special achievements and titles. And what I remember from a previous live letter, it's that you can only win once. So if you got into the top whatever, I don't think you can win anything else again.
So you can't get a higher rank.
Well, there's no ranks per se. You have like places 1 through whatever, and then you got rewards based on that. So maybe if I don't even know how these rewards were tiered. Like if you got first or fifth, I don't know if you got fifth if you can get first now. All I know is what they said before was you couldn't win again.
Okay. Sky Steel tools update. You'll now be enhancing them.
Amazing stuff, Avi.
Such
What's
a-
a Sky Steel tool?
It's your relic for your crafters.
Holy
and
shit,
gatherers.
I didn't even think she would know that. Icarus says, you can, first I said nope, you can craft it as not a collectible currently, but they're not forced collectible like Ishgard Restoration, so they're making custom deliveries like Ishgard Restoration is. Yeah, that's what I was saying, which is what I mean. They have to change the list, because right now I think you can turn in like some sort of spinach for collectibles, but you also use it for crafting as well. So they're going to have to change it to an item that you would only use for collectibles. ARR revamp, Avi. This is why we are standing in the Mordana region, because we are going to be able to fly here soon.
That's like a big thing people are really excited about, is you're going to be able to now fly in the Realm Reborn worlds zones, but you're not going to be able to go down into any of the water. And they did say that like certain rocks you're not going to be able to jump up that you could jump up before because of how the whole like sky had to reach the land. It's pretty cool, except I still want more hairstyles for my goddamn Viera. I don't want to fly in a Realm Reborn. I want hairstyles for my fucking Viera. Like, this actually makes me kind of mad. I don't need them all. I just want some of them. Please. If you can spend time making us fly in zones that we can already travel in, give me some goddamn additional hairstyles. I'm sorry. I know it's a freaking like glamour complaint, but like you added all these awesome new hairstyles, and there's hairstyles I paid cash for, there's hairstyles that I like put a lot of effort and put a bunch of gil into. Like, you don't need to give me all of them, just give me some of them. Like, give me the ones that don't clip. Like, please give me, if you gave me 4 new hairstyles, I would be like, fuck yes. And they're for existing hairstyles. Like, thank you. But instead I can fly in zones that I never go to anymore. Thanks.
I bet Avi would basically give up all but a couple of these pieces of content.
Yeah.
For
Yep.
the hairstyles.
Yep.
Like, she won't give up the MSQ.
Nope.
She won't give up maybe the new trial.
I'd give up the trial. No, if the trial's really good for the story, I wouldn't give that up.
But maybe the Sorrow of Wurlet she'll give up.
What's that?
The ruby weapon and then sapphire weapon.
Yeah, I'd give that up.
You don't give a fuck.
I'd give up all the crafting gathers. I'd give up the beast tribe.
You wouldn't give up the new 24-man raid.
I wouldn't give up 24-man raid.
But
I would give up a lot.
She would delete crafting from the game for 5 new hairstyles.
Yep. Like, it's really annoying, considering I like 3 of them right now. And I really like my Viera. Like, I know I get the whole, like, you can just change to a different race, but I really, like, she is finally my never gonna be Fantasia'd again character. I really, really love everything about her, but that, like, she's not allowed to cut her hair. Like, she's got, like, some freaking controlling ass husband who doesn't let her change her style, and that just fucking pisses me off. Like, I want the freedom of these hairstyles that I gathered, and it makes me really mad.
If they gave you the option of male bunnies or new hairstyles, what would you take?
Hairstyles.
Damn, savage.
I'm not gonna play a male bunny. I just said I'm not gonna Fantasia. I get that other people would be happy with the male bunny, but I'm being selfish right now, and I would take it. I want more hairstyles over being able to wear like hats. I want I don't care about the hats and the helmets and all that stuff. I want to be able to, like, the new hairstyle that came out that's so cute and it's all asymmetrical and shit. And I'm like, oh great, that would look great on my bunny. Not gonna clip any goddamn thing. It's flat on the top of her fucking head, but I can't use it because I play a bunny girl and her head's weirdly shaped and she can't have hairstyles.
Hey, but you have parasols now.
Fuck you. And they have a new menu now. They put effort into making a new parasol menu, but I can't freaking have a hairstyle that's
I
existing.
didn't even know there was a menu because I only have one. So when I hit the button, it just puts that one up.
Well, no, you had to go and find that in the abilities menu and then put it on your hotbar to do that.
But when I hit it, all it does is bring up my one parasol that I have. There's no menu.
If you have multiple parasols, they each go down as a separate ability.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yes, they're fixing that. Ooh, Icarus just said they would give up Nier for hairstyles. I don't know if I would do that far. I like Nier.
I mean, I would give up the Nier theme, but I still want a 24-man raid.
I don't feel like I'm asking for, like, I'm not asking for, like, crazy stuff. I get that some of them are going to clip, but, like, you don't need to make everything perfect. Just give me some. Just give me some. And I would be very happy.
I actually totally wouldn't mind if, like, during this whole quarantine, if all they did was focus on quality of life and, like, hairstyle shit. It's like, I have plenty to do.
Well,
I can run dungeons.
add the relic stuff so people can, like, increase that, and then, yeah, make quality of life. Build a test server so you guys don't have to try to do all this shit online.
Did Pete say he will give up the booty for the new hairstyle? That aesthetic.
Yes, he doesn't even use it. He doesn't even use the Nier booty. All right, so we were talking about the ARR flying, which a lot of people are happy for. I'm sorry, I went into my hairstyle rant.
I mean, it's nice. It kind of negates all the land speed boosts you spent time getting.
Yeah, well, I didn't spend too much time on that.
I meant the general you, not you personally.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I only did it in the zones that that were really big and that I had to go to kind of often.
Now I don't feel bad about giving away my motorcycle that goes faster on land.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't feel bad anymore. Anyways, I like that. I like that mount. I think my character looks really badass when she's wearing, like, the high heels and her foot goes down and she's like, I'm on my motorcycle. And now I just need a Vespa. Anyways, okay, sorry. So in regards to the ARR revamp, so the MSQ has also been streamlined from patches 2.0 through 2.5. I think they said something like they've removed 13% of the quests and then streamlined others, but there were certain, like, NPCs that were introduced, so they couldn't, like, there's certain things that they would have liked to have been able to cut, but they couldn't because they needed that character to be introduced.
How much do you think 13% equates to time-wise? Do you think it's significant?
Yes. It's like 2% of the population dying. It's fucking significant. Sorry. How many hours? We've talked about, like, all you would have to do, Pete, is literally look up the amount of time it takes to complete a Realm Reborn and then do math.
But
and that's 13%.
I'm saying, is it significant in someone that's, like, getting upset of the time investment in this game? If it takes 200 hours and you knock off 20, is that going to be 25, 30? Is that going to have anyone get through it?
I mean, if it's the boring stuff. But the problem is, I think that the people that they had trimmed this down, like, are still really love everything that they did in patch 2.0 through 2.5. And the person, so it's like, oh, but I love this. Oh, but this happens here. Oh, but that happens there. We'll just get rid of the fetch quests. It'll be great. It'll be great. You need somebody to come in and be like, that has no relevance. That is unnecessary. That you need, like, an outside person to come in and look at it and then cut. And that is how it's going to make a big difference.
I think, I don't know. They have to, I wish they would just give the story skip to people without having to pay for it. I wish they would let people get to end game.
But people still want to be able to play it.
I know, but I wish they would give you the skip, but you're able to like play it at your own pace. Like it'd be nice if you could get up to level. And
I think that-
I already see the roadblocks from what I'm proposing because you'd have to go through the end game story to get to that point because
Yes.
everything's gated
There's
behind
story and stuff that does need to happen in A Realm Reborn, but I think that 13% is huge. It's still wonderful that they cut that much out. I think it's gonna be great. It's good, like Icarus said, as someone who had to play to catch up with a friend at the end of Heaven's Ward. Yes, Pete, it makes a difference. 20 hours is still 20 hours. It makes a difference. I think the comment he's trying to say is that it should have been more. But again, I think that was in order for it to be cut further, they would have to enlist someone else to do the cutting.
Oh, well, the point I'm saying is if you tell someone, oh, it's going to take you 200 hours to get caught up to endgame, and then you're like, oh, well, they just made this change. It's only 180 hours now. Is that person going to say, all right, I'll give it a shot now that it's 180 instead of 200? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's more so like somebody who's already playing it and they're like, hey, they just made it better. So anyways, additional experience points and gear have been added to the quest, which ensures a smoother journey for new players progressing into Heaven's Ward. And that way it ensures that you will get to level 50 just through MSQ from A Realm Reborn. That way you're not stuck at like level 47 having to find a bunch of side quests and bullshit to try to get to level 50, which is stupid. I had to do that with Hyperpixie, actually.
Oh, no, I see people that I feel like if you, like, because you don't want to quest the whole time. Occasionally you just want to run a dungeon. Like, you get so much...
No, the MSQ takes you to dungeons.
I know, but not that often. There's not that many.
There's a lot.
And you have to go through a lot of MSQ to get to a dungeon.
That's true. It would be a slug to like.
And there's some days you just don't feel like questing. You just want to kill shit. And it's like you out level the MSQ often during this game, like especially now.
I feel like what they have done. I think what you would do is you would tell a person who is, if they're starting 14, they're playing A Realm Reborn, is they've streamlined it. It's still very long. But it's very much like a solo, like you're going to go through until you need to do a dungeon and stuff. And whenever you need to do a dungeon or anything, just let me know and I'll be there to help run it with you. But otherwise, you're basically playing a solo game and you're going to go through it by yourself. And they've taken out the downtime and they've made it so it's just like, ga. I mean, Pete, it's like, if you view it as an MMO and you're like, I just want to do a dungeon and do random bullshit, sure. But if you view it as Final Fantasy, which is what it is like a solo player game, solo player RPG that happens to have an MMO aspect, then you're just like on the solo player element of it and just have that mindset and give them that mindset and be like, hey, if you want to play this Final Fantasy game, and then we can do stuff together sometimes, and then once you get further, we'll do more stuff together.
You know what I kind of wish? I wish like they could kind of put it into a movie, like create a Realm Reborn movie.
I think people on YouTube have already done that.
And then if you get to level 10, you can have the option to like, okay, I want to see the movie up to level 10. And then get to level 20, I want to see the movie up to level 10. And it's kind of like replacing the quest line.
Okay. It's never going to happen. Moving on. So
I got many ideas. Just call me Square Enix.
They're just not good. The Crystal Tower series and the quest My Little Chocobo must now be completed through to progress through MSQ, which Crystal Tower obviously makes sense because of where we're at now. Flying mounts are allowed in Realm Reborn areas, which we talked about. The only thing you need to do is complete the quest, The Ultimate Weapon, and there are no Aether Currents. I mean, that would be a lot of Aether Currents in all the Realm Reborn zones.
I enjoy getting Aether Currents.
I was thinking that at first when we talked about it, because it's like a little treasure hunt, but there's a lot of zones. I mean, maybe if there was like one current in each zone, but more than that, nah, I'm good. So now you just have to learn how to fly after the Ultimate Weapon quest. And so like the quest, I Believe I Can Fly, has also been removed. So they've like streamlined all of it. They're like, you know what? You don't have to learn how to fly. You just do. You just do once you're done. Once you get to that level, you boom, fly. Good, go.
And you already mentioned we won't be able to go into water. I think
Yep.
Mieko, I think I said in chat, it's because they don't want to design those zones. Yes.
No, that's a whole other zone.
Yeah.
That's too much effort. It's unnecessary
it's not
effort.
Technically another zone, but it's a whole bunch of more shit that you need to
It's
design.
like another zone. It's another world, like another area. Another instanced area.
Yeah, but that's kind of what their reasoning was for not letting you fly. Like they didn't want to have to add that extra depth. It's basically the same, but you have to add like a floor. You have to add a little more textures to it.
I have to do a lot.
Next, there's going to be a couple of brand new pieces of content coming in patch 5.3 that are tied together. We have the Unreal Trials, which is a new difficulty of trials. From my understanding, I'm not 100% sure on this, but they should be harder than the extreme versions of trials that we have now. We will be revisiting old trials and fighting them after they have been synced up to our level 80, and they will have some new tricks up their sleeves. We will be facing off against Shiva for the first Unreal trial.
And it's the whatever amphitheater. I can't say it. The original Shiva, not the new Shiva.
Oh, yes, the Shiva that we are reimagined for the new Shiva.
Yes.
The original Shiva.
So, but they aren't just like adding higher elements. They're actually like kind of they're reimagining the fight. Is kind of how they said it too. So it's going to be the Unreal version.
And we will be getting one trial per patch. And this is an interesting part. We will only have access to them for a limited time.
I think it's cool.
So I wonder if it's going to be like, as soon as the next patch hits and a new trial comes out, if that one's going to go away, or if maybe if they give you 2 patch leeway for that first one.
We'll have to see.
Completing Unreal trials will give you the chance to play the Faux Hollow minigame once per week. And we don't really know what that entails yet. We don't know what it is. I kind of want to call it the Fox Hollows because we got a picture of a fox.
It was like a pretty awesome fox. Like it's like a fox who don't give a fuck. Like he's silently judging you. I love him. We also got some miscellaneous quality of life adjustments. A party of players will be able to join another party via the party finder. That's huge. Like that's going to be wonderful for everybody. The option to require 1 player per job will be added to the party finder as well in regards to that to make sure you can take full advantage of your limit break. Players will be able to use the world visit system while in a cross-world party. Thank you. That was so annoying to be like, hey.
Wait, what did you say about limit break?
The option to require 1 player per job will be added to the party finder.
Oh.
Listening
Oh,
skills.
that thing didn't really hit for me because it just like streamlined what everyone does anyways.
Right, but the reason it was essential for that to still be part of it is they're saying like, yes, a party of players can join a party finder now, but they are still requiring 1 player per job. So you can't override that by joining as a party.
Well, the game has never required that.
No, but you can set that option. That's what I'm saying this is saying, Pete, is that that joining as a party will not override that. They won't be able to join as a party.
They don't have anything to do with each other. They're saying instead of having to unclick jobs for you to be able to do, there's just going to be an option that says don't allow.
Got it.
Duplicate.
So they've also added new chapters into Game Plus, which we're expecting some more Realm Reborn to hit in there. New token exchange vendors are going to be added to the major cities. And there's, again, as I mentioned earlier, that new menu for parasols. Everyone was so excited for that. And not the goddamn Viera hairstyles that they never talked about.
I wonder what the new token, like, is it just going to be for, like, poetic stuff? Like they're going to add that so you don't have to go to Revenant's Toll?
I think there's going to be the token exchange vendors are going to be poetics in major cities.
Poetics?
Yeah, I think it'll be poetics. There's going to be a bonus episode of the developer series featuring Yoshida Yokotaro and Yosuke Saito regarding the Nier Raid collab, which is going to be available on April 30th, which is about a week from now, which I'm really looking forward to because I really enjoyed those.
So yeah, that's part of that 6-episode series we were talking about where they did a little behind the scenes on the creation of Shadowbringers.
Yep.
All right, Avi, now it's time for the Community Roundup, partner.
So this week's Community Roundup is some fun content that Esper, a friend in our Discord, shared regarding their Lodestone blog. They have started a series titled Fun Facts of XIV, and they are wonderfully ridiculous, and we wanted to share a few of them with you as well. Link to their Lodestone blog will be in our show notes. If they're okay with that, we'll make sure we'll DM you before we share that. But for now, I'm just going to read a few of the bullet points that I thought were funny. When we call for the hairstylist, we always dress down to our underwear. Mikote and Rothgar should not wear much clothing due to the possible lack of pores and possibly having very bad breath if they sweat through their mouths. Like a cat and a dog. Twice, we have done infiltration missions, but never had a reason to keep the uniforms. What the fuck? Give us some cute uniforms. We have not seen Lise once since the last story battle in Stormblood.
She's busy governing.
Brushing her hair. We have no change of underwear, but we still have to wear them.
How do you know we don't have a new one every time you see it?
We don't change them.
How do you know?
We don't do it. We change all our other clothes. We have 3 in-game public bathing areas, but no towel glamour. None. Materia is made of soul ether, so you're essentially equipping someone. I liked that one. Despite having destroyed Bahamut Prime, we never shut down Dalamud while it works to reconstruct the High Primal Dragon.
Yeah, we'll deal with it later.
And this one is totally for Pete. Alphino collectively has the most screen time over all other characters beyond your own.
Are you shitting me?
Mhm.
Is that why I hit him so much? Because his fucking face is always on the screen?
He loves you. He loves you so much.
Jesus Christ.
So thank you so much, Esper. I really enjoyed those. And they actually just released another one today. They linked in our Discord, and they're really fun. So it's always fun to comment, to notice things in the game that are completely logical IRL, but in game you're like, why are there no bathrooms anywhere? Things like that.
And now for a little bit of listener reaction. I was pretty bad about tweeting this week. I'm sorry, guys. But besides our tweet of the week, we had Mocha Jones, who just popped up in chat there.
Like he knew.
He tweeted, listen to Ashy Heals I Tank podcast yesterday, and when talking about Avi Ale and her friend, it made me think of my childhood in the 90s.
And then there's a picture from Pokemon and Sailor Moon, which, by the way, Sailor Moon's going to be able to be streamed on Netflix, I just heard recently. So you're going to be able to...
Too bad it's not part of watch parties on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'll watch it by myself. Cool. So yeah, big side thank you. And that was really cute, Mocha Jones. So Pete, this has been an extremely long episode. That's why I started talking faster and trying to get you moving toward the end there.
Could have been longer if someone would have called in.
I'm okay with that. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think we are good. Thank you, as always, Avi. Good job.
So on that note, that is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with all of you live here on Twitch. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Be sure to hit that follow button so you will know the next time we will be going live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and the app that your brother's going to come up with while he's sitting at home on quarantine because he ain't got shit else to do. You are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review. Or more importantly, tell a friend to check us out. Here with Vegan Pete, I am Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.